Okay.
Quickly, if I may, sorry, if that was...
Yeah, I was just going to turn it over to Bob.
If that was the moment. Can I just ask you, what are the condition of the elephants in Toronto? Their condition now, has there been any noticeable effect on them in the 3-day journey? How would you characterize the effect on them of the 3-day journey?
Well, I'll tell you, you might not know this, but I didn't have a lot of access to those elephants while they were in Toronto. We actually went to Toronto, our vet and I went to Toronto, and were told that we really shouldn't go see the elephants.
Whoa, yes. That's the story of my life.
That's a lawsuit. No,
just a moment. My attorney's here. Nancy, come over here. Nancy, come here. No, I want you over here. Come on. Nancy Burnett here is a close associate of mine. She's the executive director of my foundation, the DJNT Foundation. She's the most knowledgeable and productive animal rights activist I know of in the whole country. And I want you over here because sooner or later they're going to ask me a question, and as usual, I'll turn to you for the answer. Okay? All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say that we went to Toronto one time at the request of a city councilman. Our veterinarian, Dr. Jackie Guy, and I flew there, and we were told that it would be better if we didn't even go to see the elephants. And I really don't understand that, but that's how the whole thing has gone. You know, the first day back in, I don't even know, 2011, at a meeting where I got up and offered to take the elephants and told the zoo board that Bob Barker would help pay for the entire trip.
That Bob Barker wouldn't help. He paid for it.
He paid for the trip. Yeah, he paid for the entire.
Straighten you out on some.
I figured your lawyer would be straightening me out.
Well, she will be. But she'll put it in writing.
So Bob would pay for the entire trip, and so Glenn de Beermaker, one of the city councilmen, asked if because I came from California and I had experience in a facility that would actually take the elephants, if I could have 10 minutes to speak instead of 5 minutes to speak like everybody else that went there. He put it up for a vote, and the zoo board voted no, that I could only have 5 minutes. I knew that things were going to be rough. And the odd thing was I could have driven 4.5 hours down the road to Detroit. The zoo director and the docents and the keepers would have taken me out to dinner. We would have gone to a baseball game. And I just never did understand what the problem is at the Toronto Zoo. There's something toxic in that place, and somebody needs to take a very, very close look at the management there.
Without the comparative aspect of it, though, how would you characterize the condition they're in now?
Well,
just what are you seeing in the elephants?
Because of the trip?
Yeah, just without necessarily making a comparison to the condition you didn't get to observe in Toronto. I'm just wondering, overall, what kind of shape are they in now that they're here and now that you can see them? Well,
our vet is in the process of evaluating them. They made the trip fine. We just got the records some of the records last night. So we're going to go over different things. You know, some of them have had some problems in the past, like all elephants. There was a concern of Iringa having arthritis so bad that she couldn't make the trip. She made the trip fine. She came out of the crate well and walked around fine and is walking pretty well for an older elephant. So, you know, captive elephants aren't exactly like wild elephants. You know, the muscle tone, I think what's happened is when Maggie came, she was a little bit weak in some spots and she built up a lot of muscle. Our facility goes from an elevation of about 600 feet, 680 feet to about 1,200 feet. So there's a lot of opportunity to go up and down hills. I think that helps a lot with strength, and especially in their back end. And that's where elephants lose a lot of strength. So, you know, we'll know if they change at all, if they get stronger, if they adapt well, and if they change a little bit. But you know, I can't really compare. I think there's absolutely, you know, satisfactory coming out off the 3-day trip. I think that the trip was not a problem for them. Thika got tired at one point, and she was the youngest and the one that I would guess that nobody was that worried about.
Are you generally pleased though by what you see, or are you concerned?
I'm sure we could. No, I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about anything in particular right now.
So the condition is generally, you generally encouraged, or is that putting it in the wrong terms? Is that the wrong language to use?
Well,
Too soon to tell.
yeah, it is. It's too soon to really tell. You know, we haven't even seen them walk up a hill yet. You know, they basically, since they've come here, they've been in either around the barn or in the barn. And one thing we do have in the barn is a nice fat padded floor for them. So when they'll never walk on just bare concrete ever again.
Ed, how did you interact with Toronto Zoo staff last night?
Next question. You know, at the end it was fine. You know, I appreciated their help. I think when they arrived, they don't like me. You know, I mean, there's no.
Now he's not referring to the elephants. He means the people.
I think the Toronto zoo people don't like me, and I don't know why. I don't know why they don't like me, but I'll tell you right now, I don't care that they don't like me. But if there's anybody anywhere who can help us with anything concerning the welfare of any of our elephants ever, I told them I have no pride at all. We'll ask other zoos, we'll ask other people, we'll call in other vets, and that's just the way we are. We're not arrogant. You know, we don't think there's no perfect situation for elephants, and we know that. We have a pretty damn good place. I mean, this place is beautiful. I can't imagine any zookeeper coming here and looking at this place for their elephants for the rest of their lives and not feeling good about it, but somehow it just seems like there's something dysfunctional about the you know, some of the staff there. It's you know, so we got off to a rocky start. Let's put it that way.
Who was? What's the councilman's name? Ho?
Cho.
Cho. All right. The City Council of Toronto voted long ago to send the elephants to PAWS, and Councilman Cho of the City Council in Toronto came out here himself and was shown all over PAWS, and he ended up saying it is a paradise for elephants. That's one of their own councilmen. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you know, you know, there's no hiding it that there is animosity coming. I don't even know who they are. You know, I couldn't name two keepers. I mean, I met two of them last night, but that's really all I know. When we gave the zoo people a tour of the place, it just seemed cold. It seemed like they had their minds made up. In fact, when they were instructed to look for places for the elephants to go, they didn't even consider our place. And I knew that the AZA was involved in it, and the AZA now has a tremendous amount of circus influence, and you know, you can kind of follow that back to people that we fight a lot. So it's a pretty simple thing to see where the animosity is coming from, but I just can't imagine after they see the place. It sounded like they're going to hell, you know? I mean, somebody said it'd be better to euthanize them than it would be to send them to us, and that pisses me off.
Ed, you mentioned the AZA.
Now be sure you use that, because it's one of the more descriptive things he said.
You mentioned the AZA. Do you believe that this really is a much larger problem, and that may explain the almost existential anxiety that the Toronto Zoo seems to be feeling, that elephants are the thin edge of the wedge in the issue of zoos and their appropriateness in this day?
Right. I think the AZA 30. Let me just get rid of that thing.
I was going to suggest that very thing. Why don't we lose that
Yeah,
altogether?
That's Hollywood talk. We don't know that. Yeah.
That's a
Strike it. I think the AZA feels like we're a big threat to them. And that's actually why we built this place. We built this place to raise the bar for captivity. We wanted people to, the only time I feel good about, see, I look at fences and I look at elephants. Even if it's 80 acres, I look and I think, why are they behind a fence? You know, what did they do to wind up behind a fence? I don't care if people don't like me. You know, I've been doing this 30 years with elephants, and I know quite a bit about elephants, but it really bothers me when they attack our keepers or people who help us, or Dr. Parrott from the Oakland Zoo, and Pat Lampe from the Alaska Zoo, and Jeff Kinsley, the head elephant manager at the Oakland Zoo, who helped, and also Scott Blaze, who started an elephant sanctuary and is extremely knowledgeable about elephants. When they're disrespected, that really bothers me. That really bothers me. We can take it. We you know,
Used to it.
we put ourselves out there and voice our opinion, and we're going to take some heat once in a while. But when people that are just trying to simply help the elephants, and those people weren't doing this for money. The Oakland Zoo and the Alaska Zoo people did this for nothing. I mean, they spent all that time in the rain in Toronto, with the extra time, all of the hardship that they had to go through, all of the physical work they had to do to make those elephants comfortable. They did that because of the elephants. And because they're AZA at Oakland, they're going to take some heat over that, and I just cannot understand it.
That's a good point too. The spirit of the folks who work at PAWS. When you're there and you just feel it. It's like being around a high school football team or a high school athletic team of any kind. The spirit they have, or a fine military unit. They believe in themselves. They think they can get it done, and they get it done. It's great.
Well, we'll get out of the sun. Anybody else have a?
Just one. Can we see some elephants?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna call down there and see what the setup is.